Hello everybody, so we're going to test something today. So this is the microphone that is attached to my headset. And I'm kind of curious what's broken. Is what was broken my fluffy microphone? This thing? Is this broken? Or is my phone's headphone jack broken? So the way we're going to answer that question is by streaming with this. And if this works, then I'll know which one is broken. We're also going to test the honesty of an airport. So I want to see if I walk around a little bit, if this battery that I'm charging on the table is still here. I booked myself a hotel, 3 nights for $163 after tax. That's 3 nights, $163 after tax, so it's going to be fun to see what kind of hotel I booked myself. Because you all realize that I only book the highest quality hotels, right? I sure do know what part I'm looking to move to. I sure do. I sure do. I'm looking at a house tomorrow. It's a 3-bedroom house, so this way when employees come to what I figured is I can let them live there for a few months for free. Like while they're looking for a place, they have a place that they can live, they have a place that they can, because like 3 or 4 of them are friends outside of work, and like I don't think they'd mind being roommates with each other if it meant free rent for a while. So I want to rent a 3-bedroom house with a garage and some amenities. At least get yourself a 3-star. I don't know. I'm weird with what I choose to waste money on. I also feel guilty because my sunscreen exploded in my bag, so the USB-C charger to my framework is dead. So I have to buy a new charger for my framework because sunscreen exploded in my bag and liquid damaged my framework charger. And I'm going to buy a new charger with the money that I would have otherwise spent in a hotel for myself. I'm just a cheapskate, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I even when I have money, I wind up finding a way to cheap out because I screw up at one thing and I try to make up for it in another area. I don't know what to tell you. So we're going to see what we got for airport food. You think anything healthy exists here? You know what I find funny about airport food? Is like you take something like a turkey Cobb wrap, which should be something that's fairly low in carbs. And that shit winds up having 56 carbs. 56 fucking carbs. Like, that's more than what I eat an entire fucking day in one shitty little airport wrap. Like, that's more carbs than I eat an entire day in an airport wrap. That's insane. That's crazy. And I guess you got cheese and crackers over here, which is interesting. But then, how the hell do you put 10 grams of carbs in cheese and crackers? Wow. Okay. I don't know how they do it. They absolutely fucking amaze me. Here we go. Low-fat Greek yogurt. Okay, what about yogurt? Surely yogurt can't be filtered. 44 carbs in yogurt. Like, holy fuck. Ow. How the fuck do you get 45 grams of carbs in yogurt? I do, Paul, I do. I'm fucking stunned. I'm genuinely stunned that they have, maybe they have a USB-C charger here for my framework. I'll probably go and buy one at some cheap knockoff shit at Best Buy when I get there. The hotel that I booked last time was out of everything. I should get a neck pillow. You know what I will treat myself to is a neck pillow. I'm afraid to ask how much this thing is though. Let's see. I'm going to get a neck pillow. I regretted it last time I did not have one on the plane. $30 is Aaron. Where to find out. I'm buying it outside, so you're probably right. Well, let's see. Do we have a snack that's low carb? 18. Because I don't know how to peanuts have that. Okay, 9. What is this? Cashew, unsalted. Okay, I can fuck with that. I'll fuck with some unsalted cashew. Just something to nibble on, you know? Thank you, Aaron. Get a steak in Texas. I probably will, you know? I probably will. Oh dear God, they only have special water here. Oh shit, they use the honor system here. By the way, is the audio working or is it going in and out? So I'm trying to figure out what the problem was. Was it with my microphone? Is either my microphone is bad or it was my phone's headphone jack is bad. So if this works, that means that my phone's headphone jack is good. Okay, $20.99 for the neck pillow. I was expecting it to be like $50. I'm honestly surprised. They got a neck pillow. Yeah. Fancy, fancy. So I met somebody who worked at Apple while I was waiting for my plane. There was this woman that said I work for Apple and I travel all around the country. And I said, cool. And she goes, what do you do? And I go, I lobby against Apple. And I travel all over the country. Talk about awkwardness that you could cut with a knife. I gave her my card though. I can't be rude. I'm not going to be rude just because, you know, we just met. She picked up my card and then she walked to the other side of the gate. Oh, that was funny. That was funny. That was...
And I looked over.
Killer moment right there.
I wouldn't have noticed it if
What?
it wasn't.
Charger left there, your purpose?
Yeah, I wanted to get some stuff.
Okay, I just didn't know.
It's actually me right now.
I thought maybe you forgot.
Thank you. Opposites do not attract in that case, my friend. That did not attract in my case. Did she randomly approach you? No, I walked over to this table to be able to... I walked over to this table so I could charge my device and all my stuff and use my laptop for a minute. And I said something along the lines of, I think that's our plane, pointing to the one outside that's broken. And she goes, I wish. I said, I've lost count. It's the third or the fifth delay. And she laughed. And then she explained what she was here for. And then she asked what I did. And I said I lobby against them for a living.
Okay, folks, in the boarding area, gate 92, going to Austin on your cabin.
And then I made a shit post on my YouTube community page and my main channel. And people took me seriously. I would give her a solid 5.5 to 6, Aaron. Probably 5.5.
An army of cleaners is going to swarm the airplane, get it cleaned, the flight attendants are going to do their safety checks, and then we're going to start boarding. So you can help us out by...
So it means that Rode microphone died again. Damn. That's like my third Rode in a year.
The weather in the middle of the country is causing a lot of problems, so...
I only live once, and being a cheapskate makes no sense in the long run. It does, because you may notice by the highway you have people living in tents. That's what happens when you run out of money. Thank you, Regine. Thank you very much for the welcome. Someone fired off a few rounds at the Dallas airport. Police shot back, so it's all good now. That is kind of crazy. They do, neuropilot, they do. It's a sealed shut microphone, Vic Golly. You have to break open the plastic to get to the inside. Once you break open the plastic, you've destroyed the casing of it. So, I don't ever take note of LaGuardia Airport. I don't go there much, and I don't focus on how it's modeled. I see it remodeled. I have Aaron, but I haven't been impressed yet, to be honest with you. They use iPads in the cockpit. That would scare the shit out of me. That's just lighting outpost. Whether I look really healthy or I look like I'm about to die mostly depends on the lighting. I'm right by the window, so I'm gonna look much better than I usually do because of lighting. It lowers the ISO on the phone camera.
While we are waiting for a pre-boarding announcement, make sure you have your boarding passes with your seat assignment on it. If you don't have your seat assignment, please come to the podium so we can reprint your boarding
Honestly, Aaron,
Also, if you're
Casey's Rip Shack in Manchester is top tier.
to the front, we can start tagging your stroller so we can speed the process of boarding. Also, if you want to volunteer to check in your baggage for free, you can also come to the front so we can start tagging your bags. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I think that Texas barbecue is kind of like New York pizza, where it's romanticized when it's actually shit. I could be wrong though, but I went to 3 separate Texas barbecue places, and none of them are as good as Casey's Rib Shack. It's kind of like when people romanticize New York pizza. They talk about how amazing it is, how much better it is than everything else. It really is not. New York pizza is about as dog shit as New York politicians, or New York real estate, or New York streets, or New York schools. Somebody profits from the romanticizing of this.
Attention on the concourse.
Because I do. Go away. Texas does have some dope burger joints. What are you supposed to do while you're waiting for your airplane? Good Texas barbecue is off the beaten path. Where, though? Where should I go? Also, stop giving me money. I'm doing this to kill time, not to get rich. I won't say no to getting rich. Look at this purge. My old housemate has had 3 engine failures at LaGuardia. One aborted on the runway. I kind of wonder if they're running the planes the same way like Hertz and National Rent-A-Car run their rental cars.
¿Cómo?
My husband got COVID from DIFA, but I'm vaccinated and the sickness for me so far. I got the vaccine and I got COVID twice, Megan. I hope your husband gets better, though. I didn't have to go to the hospital, so hopefully it did its job. I hope you're doing well, Megan, and I hope your husband is full recovery. It lost 2 miles, David. That was because I forgot to turn off that setting that turns on the fan when it gets over 100 degrees inside the car. I forgot to turn that off before I left. So I lost 2 miles from the fan spinning. Doki, so I've gotten Steve. Steve is a yes. Chris is a yes. Dan is a yes. Kevin is a yes. Orhan is a yes. Chris, I still have to work out so Dan and Kevin I worked out a package with. Orhan I haven't worked out a package with. Steve I worked out a package with, but he's not accepting it because he thinks it's too much. Chris I have to work out a package with, but that's a long story that I'm not going to get into publicly. But he's a solid dude. Paul S. is not coming. Paul S. has a wife, family, and a house that he just bought. So that was. There are a number of factors there that keep Paul from being a part of this plan. I have suggested that he make a playlist of all the videos he's done for this channel and use that as a resume and walk into all the different stores that do this in New York City and Jersey and ask if they do the type of repairs that he does, and then say if they don't, demonstrate the cost of the repair, show them what the cost of it is, and then show them how much money we charge for it, and say this is how much money you're missing out on by not offering this. You need to start doing this. Hire me today. Maybe, Emily, but I'm not really in Texas. Like, Austin is not really Texas. It's New York City inside of a red state. No, Carl's, no. The New York store does not make money, and I need to start from scratch and kind of redo it. So to keep a New York store and then take all the mail into another location would mean instead of losing a little bit of money, it would just hemorrhage money and die. So that doesn't make any sense. If you'd like a tour of Austin, certainly let me know. I've been here 17 years. I'd like to help you get the best of Texas. Yeah, send me an email, Yolanda. Lewis@rossmangroup.com. The only barrier to emailing me personally is knowing how to spell my first name and my last name, which honestly, I think 30% of my subscribers don't know how to do. But if you can, Lewis@rossmangroup.com. Sure. You have my email. And also, $15. Wow, thank you. That is, damn, you just beat out Paul S. You just beat out Paul S. Wow. You have a higher bidder here. Why do you still use United and not any other airline? Because I signed up for a fucking credit card with them, and I have this credit card. So Chase gave me a card back when I had like a 400 or 500 credit score before my business. I think they were too dumb to run my personal credit. I don't know why anybody would have fucking given me a credit card with the credit score I had 7 or 8 years ago. But I chose, the only one that I got to choose from was the United one, which gives you rewards points. And my business spends like 40 to 60,000 bucks a month on the credit card, just buying all different types of shit. So they use that card for anything where you have to use a credit card where there's no discount for cash, check, wire transfer, and anything like that where there's no discount for cash, check, or wire transfer. I use it, and I get all these points that I can use to travel around the country. So that's what I do. The problem is that they suck. They're really, really bad. Like, they're a horrible, horrible, bad airline managed by bad people. Was it hard to choose Texas? Do you feel relieved? It wasn't really hard. It was actually the easiest one to choose. I didn't really choose it based on the location. I chose it based on a job opportunity. I'm not building company housing. No, they are going to rent their own housing. Also, Samsung really has no idea my camera has no idea where to focus. Look at it kind of like constantly going back and forth with the zoom. Steve S. owned business. There is no Steve S. Also, a great worker you'll be missed, but I pray that he becomes richer than you. Yeah, that's kind of what you want of all your employees. You want them to become more successful than you. Steve is the guy that snatched a stick from the psychopath. Yes, he snatched a stick from the lunatic. Steve is a good man. With Steve and Chris, I can recreate a quality company anywhere. Is Austin in the best of Texas congruent? I don't know, man. Does your reputation as Louis Rossman help a little when moving locations? Well, I guess we'll find out, you know. If I move here and I get no walk-in business whatsoever, I'll know the reputation didn't mean jack shit. I'm pretty sure Google ranking is what matters, not reputation. It's Google ranking. being the first thing that shows up on Google is very helpful. It's just I show up the first thing on Google for New York City. I don't show up the first for Austin, Texas. So I'm gonna have to work on that. And once I work on that, then we'll see where things go from there. And Paul says Lockhart, cruise marketer Smitty's with Black Frog in 2018, and make it up in quantity. Thank you, Paul. I will check them out. If you could either text me the name of those so that I don't forget them. Listen to the menu in flight. Any drinks worth having? No. Is Paul S. having his own business? I don't know. I hope, listen, I'd like to see him prove himself wrong. In the past he said, I don't know if I want to deal with all the aspects of running a business and customer service and this, that, or the other. But I don't really have and I kind of want to see Paul prove himself wrong. I want Paul to see himself as like a fucking amazing businessman. Yeah, hope he makes more money than me. I think it will help more than you realize once people realize who you are. I hear that all the time. I don't know. Look forward to the next housing and moving vlog. Yeah, it should be interesting. Thank you for the message.
Taylor, Bookline.
Start a franchise. I don't know how to do that, to be honest with you. Like, I think in the past I've said I don't want to start a franchise because starting a franchise means watering down quality. But I think that's cope. I think that's bullshit. I think the reality is that I don't know how to run a franchise. I have no idea how to document every single procedure and every single thing that makes us great in a manner that can be duplicated McDonald's fashion, every place across the country. That's not what I'm good at. I'm not really a business person. I kind of backdoored my way into becoming a business person by accident. It's not something that I'm naturally good at. So it's not something that I really know how to make a manual on.
May I have your attention on concourse? This is a final boarding call for United Flight 3547 to Boston. Please proceed to seat.
Is that Boston or Austin?
May I have your attention, please?
Does the People's Republic of New York have an attack for businesses that could hit you with when I move? My business isn't moving. I am closing my old one and starting a new one. Oh, you don't understand. I'm like 10 miles ahead of New York City on that shit. So I don't own any property here, so they can't hit me for leaving because I just rent. In terms of business, there's no way in hell that I'm going to take this business with all of its past audits and everything else and actually move that to another state and allow New York to, New York is not, no. They don't even get to know the tax ID of my new business. When I go to the new place, it's like I drain the old business bank account, I close it, and then I open a new business that is fresh, like a nice virgin business in Texas. I don't want a business that's been touched by New York in any way, shape, or form. That's not happening. That's just not happening. No way. Clean books, clean start, clean everything.
Active military personnel, you're welcome to board. Thank you for your service.
The walk-in van for Austin, if you're downstairs in New York City, so. I'm not really sure, but again, I anticipated that I'd be taking 40 to 50% of my staff. And since mail-in accounts for 50% of my income, the way that my brain takes it is that I lose 50% of my employees, but I also lose the rent expense and 50% of my income. So, it all kind of makes sense. I have some thoughts to you because of reputations. Thank you, Push. People probably visit out of interest and take pictures. Texans are more than willing to drive long distance for persons of interest. I don't know how many people are going to be willing to visit this because it's in Austin, and from what I hear, the rest of Texas is not really keen on Austin very much. Yeah, I don't think most people in Texas even want to brag about Austin being in Texas, much less me.
Ladies and gentlemen,
thank you, Outpost. It's very kind of you.
We are experiencing flight delays and cancellations. If your flight is
taking any employees with
you?
Yes. Rewind about 5 minutes to have the list.
You may scan the QR code available in the terminal.
Christoph, probably not.
With our customer service representative, or call our special
Christoph, probably
center
not.
number.
I got
1-866.
2 nonprofits, a repair business, a full-time job, and a YouTube channel. I'm kind of juggling too much shit right now.
Once again, the special customer contact center number is 1-866.
Paul should buy you out of the New York City store. But if New York City tax office in jail. I don't even understand what you mean. Why would you want the New York City store is literally worthless. It's worth less than, it's not even worth zero, it's worth less than zero. So, as it exists, because of the way I structured it and how many people that I hired, based on business going up and also me renting a more expensive space, that store loses money. It's not a lot of money, but it's enough that it matters. Now, if I take the mail, here's the thing that most people don't understand. This is the fucking thing that kills me, is with basic math. okay, so let's say 50% of the business is mailing, right? And that store loses, I'm just going to pull the number out of my ass because it's not your business. Let's just say it loses $1,000 a month, right? Let's just say it loses $1,000 a month. If I take 50% of the gross sales away from that business that loses $1,000 a month and I take it to Texas, then what do you think happens to the business that's in New York City? It loses 10, 20, or 30, or 40,000. See how that works? So you would have to be retarded to buy me out of my New York store as it currently exists, knowing that I am going to be taking the mail-in business, the online store, the website forum income, everything else to someplace else. Like, that would be the dumbest ass shit that somebody could do. Like, it literally makes no sense. Like, people have said, why don't you just leave that open for your employees, or why don't you just give it to them? Like, that would, it's kind of like saying, listen, if you like this person, why don't you give them $80,000 in debt? It's just a really, I don't know. I have a different idea of what I would do for people that I like. Yes, we disavow Austin. Yeah. So my idea is to, again, I used to have my business, like, just 5 years, honestly, I'm gonna, like, literally 4 years ago, I had 4 employees. Like, over the past year, I've had anywhere between 12 and 16. Like, that's just too much. You know, I had assumptions for growth based on, I thought that things were going to keep doing this, but in reality, it kind of like did this. But like, I saw the curve and I said, okay, let's keep on. I flew too close to the sun. Yeah, I got to just kind of start from scratch. So I'm excited about starting from scratch. I'm excited about starting from scratch. Here's a crazy thought: if Alex needs a computer fixed, would Lewis work on it? Who's Alex? Lewis makes New York City sound like leaving a narcissistic abusive relationship and going no contact. Again, like, explain the benefit of moving my existing business. I guess the one benefit that I would have is that I'd be able to get a credit card with a high amount of credit attached for the business, but, you know, like, my business credit mattered when my personal credit was garbage. My personal credit is now over 800, so I don't really care if I'm starting a business with no credit, because, like, I don't believe in borrowing money, to be honest with you, anyway, at this point. Like, I try to avoid borrowing money. I can't read. Lewis still together with his girlfriend. That's a $50 super chat. It's going to become $100 because of inflation soon. In early videos, sound like you were going to work for someone. I am. I was going to do a video today, but I thought I'd miss my flight. The funny thing is that my flight got delayed by 3 hours, so I actually could have done the video explaining all of this earlier today and been fine. But I decided to be early in case my flight was going to leave and I was going to be late. And here I am, waiting for you, man, to, I don't know, fix PP Bus G3 hot on a Boeing. Richard, rewind the video 10 minutes to hear that. I don't know, I can't keep saying the same thing. If you rewind the video 10 minutes, you'll find a very long talk on that. It's detailed by person. Never say it's a $50 question. It's at least a $50 question. There's always more. True, Sherlock, true. I already looked for some talent in Austin in terms of staff. I got my own people. They're good. I had dinner with Kevin and Dan yesterday, and we came to an agreement. I spoke to Steve 2 weeks ago, and we came to an agreement. Orhan said yes, but I haven't come to an agreement with him on terms. If he's saying yes without asking me for anything, then he sucks at negotiating. I need to get him a copy of Jim Cam Start With None. Chris, again, that's a story. I love Chris. He's a good dude, and he's gonna come with. There's something particularly humorous about that we're keeping confidential at this particular point in time.
Passenger Randy Wilkes,
Josh,
please meet your
Easton.
party at C70. Randy Wilkes, please meet your party at C70.
Any concerns about mail-in to Austin resulting in MacBook sitting in 100-degree heat for a day or two while in transit? Not really. Like, what's the difference? I mean, it's like 10 degrees hotter here than it is in New York. Don't get me wrong. Like, you can feel it, but it's 10
Group
degrees
2
hotter.
passengers to the
Hello,
green
Alana.
lane.
How are you? How's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Be kind, please rewind. Yes. Working with is better than working for. Well, we'll see. Euporio and Clinton get a greenie raise. I'm going to try to find them a treat that doesn't have grain in it. Okay, here's something I don't understand. Can you guys explain this to me? So people have been standing up over here for like the last 25 minutes. And they're not even boarding the plane, but they're all waiting up there. Like, what are they doing? What's the point? I sit down until I see people starting to walk onto the plane. Once I see people walking onto the plane, then I stand up. But I'm not going to stand up and wait in line like a piece of cow. I mean, there's not even a plane here yet. That just seems ridiculous. I don't understand it. This happens every time I go to an airport. Like, I think they think that they're going to get on the plane sooner if they just stand up sooner, or that even matters. That just seems crazy. I think there's something I don't understand about flying. My seat is 24E. I recently restarted my repair business in the UK after lockdown, going well. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Pete. Love hearing people that are starting successful repair businesses. That makes me happy. It genuinely does. I mean that. It makes me happy to hear that people started a repair business that's working for themselves and successful.
Group 2 passengers, Group 2 through the green lane. Group 3 passengers, green lane 2.
By the way, do you guys want to see a really easy way to tell that Newark Airport is a shithole? Here, let me show you. This is a great piece of evidence that we live in a failed, low-trust society. Watch this.
Please report back to TSA. Melissa,
I'll show you in one.
Dawn, please report back to TSA. You have the wrong bag.
Let's get my stuff set up. Okay. So this is a chair, right? This is a chair. The chair is literally screwed into the fucking ground, so you can't move it. I wanted to move it out a little bit just so that I'd be a little bit more comfortable, and you can't move it. They screw the chair into the ground. Bro. Low trust society. That is a credit card scanner at a charging station. It's if you want to order food. What? Where can I walk in and get my Mac fixed now? 141 West 27th Street in Manhattan. It's going to be open for a while. The most difficult part of this is going to be arranging how long to keep that open. So what I did last time, and I wasn't a fan of this, but there was no way around it because people kept going to the old fucking store. And what I did last time was I was paying, we just moved all the devices that were still left that people hadn't picked up yet or that were still in progress from the old store to the new store. But that was 10 or 15 bucks. That I can trust. What I'm not willing to do is move repairs in progress from the old store in New York to the new place in Texas. That I can't do. So I need to keep the old place open enough with enough staff to be able to work on everything. Change the location on the website. Change the location on Google Maps and everything. And then close the doors, have them locked, say we are no longer taking in anything at this time, fix everything that is there, send it back to customers, be fully done with the New York location, and then after everything is fully done with the New York location, then have those people come to Texas. I think that'll naturally work out because there'll be people that are not able to make the move that are going to be at the old location for a while. Excuse me, I have to take a piss. It's probably not going to be as loud this time since this microphone sits by my neck instead of in my pocket. So it's further away from the source of the noise. You guys tell me how the stream is. You really should do this before you get in an airplane unless you have an aisle seat. If you have an aisle seat, you don't have to worry about it as much. If you don't have an aisle seat, this is imperative. This last flight, I had to sit next to somebody that refused to wake up, so I just decided to step over him. Like, I tapped him on the shoulder politely several times and a little bit harder. I'm like, fuck this. I'm just gonna step over you. He's like, whoa. Well, I gotta piss. Listen, you'd rather I step over you than piss on your face. Although, admittedly, that was a tempting thing to do. Wash my hands. You always wash it. If I find something I could carry, like a bracelet that hacks these little sensors that try to determine whether or not they should dispense soap and water for you. You always wave your hand like a jackass trying to get it to shoot out water. And it only shoots out water for a quarter of a second. I found a way to hack it at the gym. There's a gym, Best Fitness in Nashua, New Hampshire. And I figured out exactly where to place an object so that it blocks the sensor and it thinks that your hand is there all the time, so it acts like a normal sink. I always want to punch those things. Like, I understand the point behind it to save water, but they're so wasteful. They're just so... When it comes to time, at least. Okay, here we go. They're letting people on the plane. All right. Which group am I? Which boarding group am I? I don't think I've ever in my life paid the extra money to board a plane sooner. I'm boarding group 2. Okay. Where's 2? Now that the line for boarding... Yeah, are you in line?
Waiting for 4.
Okay. Do you know where the line for 2 is?
You can just go.
Oh, beautiful. Don't I feel special? I sit until I hear them boarding. Yeah, screw that. I'm not getting up and standing in line like a piece of cattle for like half an hour. Like, they really think they're gonna get on the plane faster if they do that, which is insane. In order to get on the plane faster, think about it. In order to avoid waiting for 30 seconds, they're gonna wait standing up for 30 minutes. The math of it just makes no sense. And at the end of the day, the plane is leaving at the same time. It's not even like with traffic or like, if you're driving in a silly way and it gets to your destination 20 seconds sooner kind of thing. Shadow with the NPC memes. Why Texas instead of Florida? Job opportunity. Job opportunity. Sorry. Last time I was at that airport, most of the iPads nearby had extremely bloated batteries, nearly pushing the screens out. Not surprising since it's plugged in 24/7. Isn't there an option where you could only make a charge to 85%? Like, Android phones have an option where you can, at least Android devices in general. There's usually an option. I love when they rush on the plane only to have to wait another hour for everyone else to board. Yeah, it's fucking dumb, bro. Okay. Let's see, there's 24E. Thank you. 24E. My Florida friends are saying Florida's become way too expensive. Everything is really expensive, honestly. Like, the one thing I found interesting about New Hampshire is that New Hampshire has virtually zero economic activity. Like, I shouldn't say zero. Like, it's not a place that I think of. It's like, this is a place, after you get your degree and something crazy to go to find the best job opportunities. Yeah, like, really boring-looking middle-class homes that go for over $750K. I think that's just the entirety of... I think that's a majority of the country is like that now. I don't know, AJ Slim. You offer me a job in housing if I move to Texas. Doing what, Sonny? What the hell can I offer you a job doing? You and Alex are two major inspirations for me over the few years to do my own repairs, modifications, and design. That's cool, Sheepy. That's awesome. You gonna watch the explosion when I walk away from New York City? Or just go? Explosion? Okay. Ernest T. Bask and gargle my balls. You're pretty stupid. That's a pretty stupid comment. Coming from a pretty stupid person. Yes. Fix that. Here's how to fix that. You can go gargle my balls. The only good thing about the airport here is free Wi-Fi. Oh, I don't trust airport Wi-Fi. 5 out of 12, Silver Knight, 5 out of 12. We have no video. Yeah, it's because you were in my pocket while I was taking a piss. Five out of 12, Steve G. 5 out of 12. No, Bulldozer, I never do. I don't know. I don't usually ask for free shit. Maybe it's just because at a small business I worked at, like, I've worked at the counter many times in my own company. And when I've worked at it enough, I don't have it in me to go into places and ask for free shit. Like, the thing is, I don't like when people do it to me. And what makes me feel empowered to tell people who do that to me to say, go away, go to the Apple store, is that I don't act that way at other businesses. Like, why should I get free shit? You know, if somebody gives me a price, I look at the price, and I say yes, or I say no. But I don't ask for free shit.
Instructions on how to do so can be found in the Demonstration magazine along with our
Thank you. Yeah, it's either a yes or a no.
Lift it up, that's it. Once again, good afternoon and welcome on board.
You're definitely going to regret this decision. Austin isn't that nice anymore. Yeah, you seem very sure of yourself. No. Yeah, you should definitely stay in New York. Not really. No, I don't want to stay in a place with... Yeah, I don't want to stay in a place that's $13,000 a month with dwindling foot traffic. But great advice. I'll definitely take your business advice as a non-business owner into consideration. Let's see. Definitely take your advice as a non-business owner into consideration. So. Well, no, I used to. I gotta start doing that more often. Usually I go through these phases, and I find something, I wear it for 3 to 6 months, I wear it out, I go to the next. He's not going to do anywhere near the amount of business as he does now. I won't have anywhere near the amount of expenses I do now either, and more importantly, I will not be dealing with a state that asks for $600,000 because they don't understand their own tax law either. New York is kind of, honestly, I don't even care. Literally, if my salary were cut in half, which it's not, the reason I'm moving here is because of a job opportunity. And a price for rent for this new store, that's much better than $13,000. By a factor of about $13,000. It's like, I would be okay with it if I just didn't have to deal with the stress and like the ulcer and the pit of your stomach when New York State does something stupid and you run out of money. Just expect you to pay for everything. I'm just done with that shit. Like, that's the thing. You sent me a letter saying we want $1,000. Fine. You sent me a letter saying I want $250. Fine. You sent me a letter saying you want $12,000. I will throw a glass bottle at the wall. I will curse and I will clean it up later. But fine. Yes, for $600,000. No, bro. It's enough is enough. You guys can stop. This entire state can stop. I'm kind of done. I'm not here to be used as a. I'm not here to be used as a pinata. At that point, it's like I literally don't even care if I make less money. I could make half as much as I do now, and I would be happy with it. It's not worth living with the stress, the aggravation. There's some things in life that are more important than money. And honestly, even if there weren't things in life more important than money, sometimes you just gotta send people a message like, I'm not supporting you anymore. Go ruin somebody else's life.
Oh, okay.
Emily, that is stuff producing, unfortunately, but I can't complain. Oh, that sucked. This is a tiny thing. right. Excuse me. Thank you so much. Sorry. Sure, Alana, absolutely. You gotta find a place that's good for it, though. I like how your definition of close is 18 hours. I gotta visit this place that Paul S. has talked so fondly about. Paul S. has had amazing things to say about Albuquerque. He called it dumb. What you need to do is when you leave New York and put up a sign saying you have moved to Texas, put up a big QR code linking to a video on why bureaucracy made you leave. That's a good idea, BGB. That's a good idea. That's not a bad idea. James behind in the comments. Yes, true, correct. I'm behind by 6 minutes. Can't read comments while boarding an airplane. 25 or 6 to 4. I don't know what those numbers mean. Right, go on the Lex Friedman podcast. Honestly, I'd be honored to go on his podcast. I would be humbled and honored to go on his show. But I don't know how to get an invitation. If you guys know how to get an invitation to that show, I would love to go on. There's so many things to talk about, not even just right to repair, but everything I'm trying to do with this new organization run by an anti-big tech billionaire that wants to invest in people. There's lots of shit to talk about.
36.
We'll see, Razor, we'll see. Yep, Emily, yep. A long time, what? Don't want to board airplanes, it'll depress you. Hello, Catherine, how are you? Oh, that's a pocket bulldozer, that's a pocket. Thank you, Sheepy, that's really kind of you. No, Paul S. That's not my. He's not my type. He's not my type. I have Sherlock, but I'm too cheap to do that now. I fly rewards points. Nice cheap flight. Does New York charge an exit tax? I don't think so. I don't have a house. I know Jersey does. Beware places that charge an exit tax. That's how you know that there's a problem. Imagine a guy that says you have to pay me to break up with me. That's a problem. Austin will be great because you'll make it great. Thank you, Emily. That's the attitude that I've got. That's the attitude I'm keeping. You always have really nice, kind stuff to say, Emily.
Once again, welcome aboard United Flight 2085 service into Austin. We're happy to have you flying with us today. Please check out this time material carry-on luggage that you brought on board is securely stowed in the airway feed and overhead compartment. Also, if you're having difficulty stowing your belongings, please let a flight attendant know. We'll be happy to help. These overhead bins can accommodate suitcases standing up on their sides. So, will I bring the cats to Texas? Of course not. But I'm gonna do what every person does when they move. Why would I take my cat to my new apartment when I can just toss them into a chipper shredder and kill them? No, my plan is to toss them into a chipper shredder and watch them slowly die. Maybe live stream it to you. Of course I'm taking my cat. What the fuck's wrong with you? Of course my cat comes with me. You're nuts. Instructions on how to do so can be found in the You subsidize a business class seat someday by vlogging it. As well as miles. I don't think the airline is going to pay me to fly. That would be a cool gig though. If I could get the airline to give me to pay for my flight, that would be really cool. Make sure that you're comfortable with the responsibilities of sitting in the exit row. If you wish, we'd be happy to find you another seat. You're going to stream when you get to your car. Probably a lot. I will. I just won't have a good microphone because I broke it. But I will stream when I get to my car. And I'm going to stream the hotel that I got.
Okay, move it. Get the other one. Let's go. Let's go.
I feel so bad for the flight attendant having to deal with
Yeah, this one right there.
so many people that don't know how to board a plane. Oh, this is painful. How's your summer been? Oh, my summer's been amazing. It's been exciting. It's a new stage of life we're getting to.
Push. Put it in. On its side, sir.
This sounds like me losing my virginity.
Push, push, push. This one? That's very kind of you. Bless you. Okay,
This really sounds like me losing my virginity.
We're all set to go here in the cockpit.
Anybody?
Captain's all ready. The airplane's fueled, cleaned, and catered. We're ready to go. Unfortunately, there was a lightning strike.
No, I don't think so. But I didn't ask.
I'm going to leave the seatbelt sign off.
Just go ahead.
Keep using
Okay.
your phones.
Is that it?
It's me too.
What? What else do you have?
There's a protocol that they go through to make sure that the ramp is clear for the
This flight attendant has been dealing with stupid for the past 20 minutes.
So, in the meantime, I appreciate your
Backpack
patience.
owner?
I drive more than fly. I hate flying, Bulldozer. You have no idea how much I hate flying.
Obviously, I'll let you know once they clear the ramp. Thank you.
You want some help?
No, I'll tell you again. I'll top the one that said I'm a hoe and anal. Yeah, that was called Austin Motor Inn. That was Austin Motor Inn, Alana. There was a room on the second floor facing the parking lot. I think it was the third door, second floor facing the parking lot.
Right there.
I will, Sherlock. I keep forgetting to put it in the description. Nobody enforces that, Guybrush. More people enforce mask mandates than that. It was horrible before COVID, JP. I haven't, Guybrush. What was the difference pre and post, JP? It seems like it sucks either way. Well, thank you. I wish you have a good flight too, AJ Slim. Yeah, Lana, that was a funny hotel. You know, I checked myself because I was like, the thing about live streaming is sometimes I'll say what comes in my head immediately. And I was this close to saying, I'll have to show you that in person. But then I realized exactly how horrible that comes off. And I stopped myself from saying it. because when I did the video, the live stream, it was only like 360p because of AT&T. But then I realized exactly how that came off like 3 seconds later. And I'm like, transporting cats from New York to Texas is going to be fun. I'm sure somebody can do that. Hey, Carrie, how are you? If they do a good job required, then why not? As long as they're not the people I hire from freelancer.com to fix my website for $20 a pop. I answered that question a million times, Mikar. Wait, oh, I see what you did there. Oh, fuck you. Yeah. Suck my balls, you. Do you think the cats are going to like the heat? I think I'm going to be paying a lot more for air conditioning. Doing games such as GTA reviews are amazing. Now, citizen guy, you know, I'm supposed to check out a house tomorrow, and I was debating whether or not I should stream. Because it's gonna be for the employees, not me. So it's not even like I'm doxing myself, I'm doxing my staff. There's a apartment I'm gonna look at. It's $1,400 for a 3-bedroom house.
¿Me entiendes? O sea, ¿qué le digo? No, nosotros vamos a sacar en 2 días, nosotros vamos a sacar uno. Entonces, en una semana vamos a sacar el resto en 2 días.
Okay, JP, you're right. The whole thing with you are right. Yeah, you're right. It has become stupider. They do lose your luggage. And yeah, a lot of stupid has happened. And the flight delay. Yeah, I always had the flight delay before. So that's because I fly United. Probably never, Sherlock. Yeah, Amtrak costs a ridiculous amount of money, JP, and it's a horrible experience. Okay, time for me to get something to listen to while I'm on my flight. See you all later. Thank you very much. And as always, I hope you learned something.